All right. So I'm just going to share my presentation. Okay. All right. Okay. So welcome to my productivity workshop. This presentation is a guide on how to enjoy your daily life while also achieving your goals. And my name is Komal Singh. I'm a student at UBC Okanagan. So here's a little bit about me. I'm a second year computer science student at UBC Okanagan, and my name is Komal, like I said. My pronouns are she and her. I moved to Canada about 6 years ago, so in 2015. So here's a fun fact about me. I am actually quadlingual. I speak 4 languages, which is English, Hindi, French, and Punjabi. Some of my hobbies and interests include playing the piano, photography, and painting. I've been playing the piano ever since I was around 6 years old. So playing the piano has been a huge part of my life, and I really enjoy it. It helps me kind of like de-stress, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's a picture of me playing the piano. And then photography. I'm not professional of any sort, but I just like to take pictures of like nature mostly, just like flowers, mountains, that sort of thing. So I have a picture here of a purple flower. Um, this was taken at a greenhouse in Edmonton, from Edmonton, Alberta. And then I also like painting. I just like to follow YouTube tutorials from time to time whenever I have some free time. And there I drew or painted Mount Fuji following a YouTube tutorial. And I really enjoy it. 3 words that I would use to describe myself is ambitious, hardworking, also lazy. But I'm quite a lazy person, so I have to take extra measures to like make sure I get all my tasks done and I'm productive with your school life. Uh, University and high school life. Uh,
I think there might have been a connection issue from Kamal's end, at least. So technical difficulty. Thank you guys for your patience, and we'll try to get this fixed as soon as we can.
Yeah, like, what's an event without some technical difficulties, you know? Yeah, thanks for your patience, by the way.
hello. Sorry, guys. Oh, sorry, I got disconnected. um, should I just start from the beginning? How long was I frozen for?
I think you can start from the about you slide. I think it was past like the paintings and artwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No worries.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what happened. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I like to play the piano, photography, and painting. Um, Three words that I would use to describe myself is ambitious, hardworking, and lazy. um, I'm lazy, but this presentation is about productivity. This because I'm a lazy person, so I have to take extra measures in order to be productive. And I'm going to share some of the things that I do to keep myself productive. So, yeah, here I have a section comparing, contrasting between university and high school life. So, they're both like really big schools in the sense that going from junior high to high school, you think that the school's so big and there's so many people. And then it's the same experience going from high school to university, right? Um, it's a really big place. It's a big campus, especially UBC Okanagan. I know we've heard that like UBC Okanagan campus is much smaller than the one in Vancouver. But to be honest, like it doesn't even feel small, especially because everyone's just coming from high school, right? So it still feels big and a lot of people there. And it can be overwhelming at first, but as time goes on, you just get used to it. Um, and then there's more diversity in university as opposed to high school, is what I've noticed. Um, Especially at UBC, there's a large amount of international population. So a lot of students are from different countries, cultures, backgrounds, which I find really special. And it's definitely like really nice to see that there's so much diversity. It kind of makes you feel more unique in your own way. I've also noticed that the students are more friendly and welcoming. And I've said no popularity status. So in high school, we have like that status, like, oh, the popular kids or the less popular kids, you know? But in university, it's nothing like that because there's so many people. Everyone is just so friendly. Everyone wants to be friends, and everyone is warm and welcoming. So I have here your choices, your consequences. This is referring to the fact that, yes, there's more freedom in university. Like, your profs won't come up to you and be like, hey, get off your phone, or like, don't be late to class. You know, like you have that kind of freedom. But that's because the attitude of whatever choices you make, you're the one responsible for it. So if you stay on your phone in class, like, sure, go ahead, you can do that. But in the end, it's only going to be you that's going to suffer the consequences. So that thing is like huge going from high school to university. There's less restrictions, but it's definitely more of a you responsibility. All right. So why did I choose computer science? So the story behind this is that I came to Canada when I was in grade 8, and then I went to the grade 9. And I moved from India. So I found the curriculum in Canada much easier as compared to in India. So especially in math, I was like way ahead of the stuff that we were already doing. So math was my strongest subject here, and I was doing really well in it. So in grade 9, my math teacher told me about the CEMC workshop for from the University of Waterloo, which is like a workshop promoting women in computer science, and they kind of just like want more women in that field, right? So my math teacher told me that I should apply for that. And it's only like 30 or 35 girls from all over Canada. And I was just like what are the chances, right? But I applied anyways, and I'm pretty sure the workshop is still happening. I know it was not happening last year because of COVID, but basically the way it works is that if you get selected, you go to their campus in University of Waterloo and you stay there for a week, and you take like starter level courses in computer science. So just like intro to coding, or like um, just writing some basic code. Okay. And I did that. And for the application, you had to submit your math mark, like your progress report. And you had to write an essay. It wasn't really an essay, it was kind of like a one pager, just like introducing yourself and explaining why you want to be in the workshop and how or why you're interested in the computer science field. So I did that and I got selected. So I went there for a week and they cover all your costs, by the way, like flying, living, eating. So I did that and then I took some intro level classes. And then this is something that I found was really, really interesting to me. So from there on, from grade 9, I just knew that I wanted to do or pursue computer science. Now, a question that I was struggling with a lot while applying for university, and I know a lot of other people do as well, is what is the main difference between computer science and computer engineering? So the main difference is that computer engineering is more to do with hardware, whereas computer science is more to do with software. So it's kind of just like you have to pick what path you want to go into. Um, yeah, so that's how I did it. I have here a saying that says, find something you're passionate about, even if you're not the best at it. This is referring to the fact that I had no prior experience of coding before university. And so when I got into this, it was kind of difficult to me to get into. And it still is. I mean, it's still pretty challenging, but it's something I'm really passionate about and I want to learn more about. So I am like, I have no problem spending my time learning more about the subject. And that is something I'm not the best at it, but I want to be the best at it. So I want you guys to like find something you're really passionate about. It doesn't matter if you're like not very good at it, but if you want to get good at it and if you want to excel at it and learn more, then that's something that you should go for. All right. How to stay productive. That's what the presentation's about. So let's get into it. I have a quote here by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. It says that a goal without a plan is just a wish. So yeah, planning is really, really important, whether it is for like your goals, short term or long term. I believe that planning is something that will get you organized, even like planning for me sometimes makes me more ambitious and motivated towards doing a task, right? And so I follow some methods to stay productive, and those include agendas and calendars, bullet journaling, the Pomodoro technique, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, but I just want to get over, or not get over, go over it. Then using resources, guys, this is like huge. I know in my first year, I didn't really use much resources that my university was offering or your high school was offering, right? Even in my high school, like sessions or talking to your teacher after class, or using the library, study groups. Those things actually count for a lot and they're very, very helpful, right? And then I have a key point here which says balancing social life with school life. I want you guys to have a balance between hanging out with your friends versus doing your assignments. So, like, I'm not saying that hanging out with your friends is a bad thing. Go for it, right? But if you have like an important midterm, exam, assignment, then you should know that that is your priority and that is something you should prioritize, right? Also in the slide, not sure if you guys can see my pointer. Okay, can see it. I have some examples here of calendars that I've made um, using a website called Canva. Not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but I'm gonna go over it, like how I made these. So I have like a calendar here, and then I put in my schedule. These are desktop wallpapers, by the way. Like what I do is like I make these digitally and I make it like my laptop wallpaper, so I always have it in front of me. So I have a schedule here, which is just like my timetable for this term, and then some homework that I have, due dates, and then I just put a quote here, just for you can say for aesthetics, for motivation, anything, right? And then I have this one as well. It's like a different style. I really enjoy making these. Like, it's something I enjoy, so I just do it. You guys don't have to. It's just an example. So yeah, midterm dates, homework, schedule, to-do list, right? All that kind of stuff. Okay, so here's a short tutorial on how I make my calendars, right? So go on canva.com, create a design, go on desktop wallpaper. Then on your left side, you can see a lot of templates, right? You can choose from any template that you want. It has like different categories, cute, cool, nature, whatever, right? These are just some examples to get you started, some inspiration. And even though they're templates, they are fully customizable, okay? Um, you can upload any pictures that you want. Here, I'm trying to change the background, for example. So I put in a picture. There's tons of stock images that you can choose from as well. And then I put the position backwards, so it's like in the background. And then you can also move all the elements, like any like sparkles that you want, any like things that you want to move, resize, rotate. You can also customize all the text fields. So here I'm changing the personal to like to do, and then work to homework, and the miscellaneous one to just schedule. All right, you can make it whatever you want. You can even add more boxes. Um, then, yeah, I'm just editing my to-do list, making it bullets on what I have to do. What I do is personally for me by week. You can do it by month, by day, up to you, right? Um, yeah, there's like a lot of templates. So even if you're a beginner at this, you can get started. Like you don't even there's some funny ones like this, just like wallpapers. If you prefer that instead. But yeah, this is like super beginner, super easy to use, and it is free. There's also a pro version if you want. It's like I think $20 a month or something. But the free version is good as well. The pro just allows you to have more stock images and options. You don't have to do that. I used the free version for like a year and a half and it works just fine. But if you want the pro version, there's something called a GitHub Student Developer Pack that you can get. And all you have to do is make your GitHub account with your school email and password. And you can get access to like a bunch of free services that it provides. Like there's Canva, there's I think some Adobe ones as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, you don't have to pay for this, right? Like it's it's preference. Um, yeah, so what I do is I just make like these calendars, personalized desktop wallpapers, and kind of just have my to-do list, homework, everything in one place. And I use my laptop a lot. So it's just like right in front of me and it helps me organize things in my head. So yeah, you guys can definitely try that out. Okay, another thing I do is I make notebooks. So if you're the type of person that likes to type your notes instead of writing them, you can do this. Literally just go on Canva, search notebooks. There's a lot of templates. Here I have my economics textbook or notebook that I've made. And these are all the notes that I just type from my lectures. You can also put in pictures, screenshot your lectures, because my lecture is actually online. So in this way, you have like all your notes in one place. You can even like order to print it like a spiral notebook if you want, and it costs money. But you don't have to do that. You can just print it like normal and just have it maybe in your binder or just like staple them. So it'll be useful for you to study for your finals or midterms because you have all your notes in one place. I find this quite useful, and I've actually just started doing this because it's especially with online. I know like if there's like graphs, then if you're taking notes on paper, how are you gonna like draw it, right? So you can just use this. You can make it notebook pretty if you want. Like put in you can go to the elements tab right here and you can put in any pictures, borders, graphs, anything that you want, right? Um Another thing is the club. I'm in the UBCO esports club. So I have to make posters sometimes, and I use Canva to do that. So just go in the search, canva.com poster, and you get a lot of templates. I made this one from scratch. All the elements are customizable. You can add in any text, resize anything, right? And it's super easy to do. So in this way, you can manage your time by being in clubs and not spending too much time doing the club work, you know? Like making this poster was 10-minute job for me, 15 minutes maybe. It's very easy to do. Like I just put in this background picture and I went on the elements tab and I put in these, the text, everything, right? So yeah, that being said, clubs are a really good way in university to just like make friends, get to know people, teachers, organize events. Like they're fun and they're also um they can be time consuming if you have to make like posters, events, etc. Right? But with Canva, it's pretty easy to do, right? Um, so yeah, these are just some of the short tutorials that I recorded. If you need more like help or anything, you can always just like search for YouTube tutorials, right? But if you have like some basic like computer software knowledge, like using Paint or like any of the Microsoft Offices, right? It's not going to be very hard to get into. Okay, coming to bullet journals. Just one second. All right. So, bullet journals. I have like a journal like notebook that I use to do bullet journaling. And first step, what I do is write down all the tasks that are due for the following week. I do mine by week. You can do yours by the day, 2 days, 3 days, or whatever works for you, monthly as well. Um, and I write down all the tasks, like even like small tasks, like chores. I even put them on. You don't have to if you want to keep it strictly to school use. You can do that. Um, so I just write like tasks like computer science assignment, econ assignment, homework, midterm, things like that. Okay. Then I assign my own personal due dates to those tasks. So even though like something is due on, say, November 10th, I want to finish it by November 9th just because like I don't like doing things at the last minute. And I don't think you guys should too. Like don't leave things to the last minute. Don't rush. All right. Have yourself enough time to get stuff done. So I would assign myself a personal due date of November 9th. Um, and that's how I put in all my tasks, right? But what I also do is I prioritize my task based on the due dates. So if something is due on November 6th and then another thing is due on November 9th, I'm going to start on the task that is due on the 6th, right? I hope that makes sense. And then I also assign times for extra studying. So I have a task list and then I have another list for like assign 1 hour towards coding because that's like the subject I struggle in, right? So I want to get in more practice, maybe watch lecture videos again or something. And I have that 1 hour slotted like for the week, right? Or 2 hours. So you guys can do that as well. And then the fourth step is to maintain mental health. So it can get overwhelming, especially going from high school to university, like because the course load, I would say rather, is a bit more different. And having like profs or being in a new university in general, a new place can be overwhelming. So the way you can maintain your mental health is taking rest days. For me, Fridays are my rest days. I don't do anything. Like come back from school and I just relax, chill, do my own thing, maybe watch Netflix, and I don't really study that day. That's a rest day for me. Even like if you want to hang out with friends or something, right? So you can have that like one rest day or two, whatever works for you. And yeah, even if you want to like have some time to working out, if that's what you like, go for it. But yeah, maintaining your mental health is also quite important, very important actually. Um, But yeah, that's what I do for my bullet journals. Okay, Pomodoro technique. Um, Basically, the way this works. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, the way this works. First of all, you pick a task from your journal or your agenda, whatever you like to call it. Then you start a 20-minute timer on like Google. You can just search up Google timer or just your iPhone, clock, whatever, right? Start a 20-minute timer, study for those 20 minutes. Then after the timer runs out, take a 5-minute break. Okay? In that break is your me time. You can do whatever you want. You can listen to music. It's kind of like a reward for your study time, right? You can watch like 5 minutes of your favorite Netflix show. You can do whatever. And then every 4 sessions, take a 30-minute break. So, okay, you study for 20 minutes, then you took a 5-minute break, then you go back to studying for 20 minutes, take another 5-minute break, and so on, right? And you do that 4 times. So 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. That's 80 minutes of studying and 20 minutes of break time, right? And you just keep doing this until you're done all your tasks. This works really well because it's scientifically proven that your brain can only focus for like an average of 20 to 25 minutes at a time, and it only needs like 5 minutes of a rest break. And so I've been doing this technique for like basically all my high school and university, and it works really, really well for me. Especially because another thing is that you want to pick your study area. So for me, I don't really find it productive to study in my dorm because I have my bed right next to me and it's all like comfy, and I have the temptation to just relax instead, right? So just go to the library, maybe make a study group, um, maybe study in your kitchen, right? Or dining table, whatever works for you. Okay. Just try to get rid of the temptations, like even your phone, right? During the 20-minute timer that you have, maybe just do that. Okay. Yeah. That's it for my presentation. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, I have my email right here, casing0925 @gmail. And at the end, I have this little certificate of participation for all of you guys for attending my talk. And yeah, my name is Komal, and thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions, now is the time to go ahead. Right, I can just check the chat here. Um, all right, what do I do in the club? The club is just about like organizing events. Like recently we had a Halloween event, which was just like we booked a lecture room, a hall, and we just like watched horror movies, had food, and watched like some students play games, right? Horror games. That's basically it. And participate in tournaments. We have some teams as well who do some tournaments, just all online, of course, right? Because COVID. What about CS versus SE? Okay, that's a really good question. So, computer science and software engineering. Computer science is actually a bachelor's program, and software engineering is a master's program. So, in order to get into software engineering, you have to do either a computer science bachelor or a computer engineering bachelor. So, for me, I was actually initially in computer engineering. I did my first year computer engineering at UBC Okanagan, or sorry, engineering, not computer engineering, engineering, because first year engineering is all common. You don't have to declare your major just yet. So I did my first year engineering, and then I wanted to go to computer engineering, which UBC Okanagan does not offer at the moment, but UBC Vancouver does, right? The reason I said at the moment is because UBC Okanagan might get computer engineering next year. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I just heard about some rumors that computer engineering might be coming to UBCO. But yeah, anyway, so I wanted to transfer from Okanagan and Vancouver to do computer engineering, but I did not get housing in Vancouver, but I got housing in Okanagan. So I instead decided to switch from engineering to computer science. And I've been doing computer science right now. Um, and then I'm gonna do my master's in software engineering. In order to get into software engineering, you need a bachelor's of either computer engineering or computer science. You can choose either or. Hey, what's your favorite part about the subject? Coding. I really, really like coding. Um, the reason why is because I like to have the process of like working on a project or a task, debugging, and then seeing your final result and being like, wow, I really made this, you know? And I've always been really interested in computers. Like my role model growing up was Steve Jobs, literally, because he the products he made were so like unique and out of the box and so revolutionary, you know? Like the iPhone 5S with the thumbprint, right? That was so special and unique. And I was like, and he really just like left his mark. And that's what I also want to do. I want to be recognized for something in the future. Aren't there SE bachelors in other schools? Not that I know of. Um, at least that's how it works in UBC, U of T, and U Waterloo. Because I saw that it's a it's a master's course or degree, sorry. But I'm not sure about other universities. I'm pretty sure that's how it works in University of Alberta as well. All right. I'm just gonna put the slide that has my email in case you guys want that. If you guys have any questions, there's a SE Bachelor Waterloo, I believe. Am I wrong? I can Google it because what I saw was as a master's. Let me see. Mm-mm. Oh, I guess there is undergraduate program. Interesting. Because I know for that's interesting because what I've heard is that from engineering in like almost every university you have your first year common engineering, right? You don't declare your major yet. And then after your first year engineering based on your marks, you apply for your major and which would be like computer, mechanical, electrical, um manufacturing and then software. But I see. I know there's a graduate program as well for software engineering at U Waterloo. Yeah, future graduate students. I see. Well, then maybe it works differently in Ontario. Because you can get a master's in engineering, right? At Waterloo. But yeah, I guess it depends from every university. For UBC though, I like your calendars. Thank you. For UBC though, yeah, you have to do first year common engineering. And then for Vancouver campus, you have to apply into whatever major you want. And then based on your marks and based on the competition, they pick you and then let you know. But in UBC Okanagan, we have civil engineering, electrical, mechanical, and I think manufacturing is the fourth one. Pretty sure. Yeah. Um, you after your first year engineering, you declare your major, and you're guaranteed to get it. Like if you passed your first year, you're guaranteed to get your major. And I think they might be introducing computer engineering next year. All right. Is there any more questions about anything? In Quebec, U of M, Concordia, and McGill have bachelors, it seems. I see. Yeah. Also, a difference between computer engineering and software engineering would be like software engineering is just software, right? And then computer engineering includes like designing the computers themselves, right? Can you touch on the UBCCS application process from high school and first year? All right. Yeah, so UBCCS application process. Okay. So I think the application process is open right now for UBC. And the way it works is that you have your grade section, right? Where you submit all your high school grades. The courses that you need are on like the website. If you go on the website and then go on undergraduate programs, computer science, right? It includes like math, chemistry, physics, English. And then a fifth subject is like your highest mark, like whatever course you took, like French or social, you know? Um, and then you do that, you put in your grades from grade 11 and 12. Yeah, grade 11 and then grade 12, like what you've completed so far, right? Even if you've not completed the course, you put in however what your current grade is, okay? Then there's a personal profile section, which is basically like an essay kind of thing. It's like a bunch of questions asking like, oh, describe how your community or how would your community describe you? How do you describe yourself? What would your friends describe you as? What are your extracurricular activities? And then it's like a bunch of questions like that, right? And then you fill them out, and there's a word requirement like 500 words, 1,000 words, 250 words. And the way the application work is that they look at your grades and your personal profile because they want to see who you are as a person, and that counts as well. Um, and they combine that and give a mark, and then they go on and like with the application and rank, and then pick in whoever they want, right? From society. Yeah. I hope that helps. But basically, yeah, because I was applying into engineering, you don't have to declare your major until after first year. I believe same goes for Bachelor of Science. You don't declare your major until after your first year. For co-op, the way co-op works is that you have to do internships. You can do them anytime you want, and it starts after second year. Okay, you can do co-op or internships in second year if you want, but a lot of people choose after the second year because after your second year you have more experience with like coding and you have more experience in your classes. So that's when you want to start applying for jobs, right? Or internships, right? And yeah, so you just do your internship. Most people do it during the summer because we have a 4 month summer. Because our term ends in May and then starts again in September. So you have 4 months off and you can do that, do your internship. And that's the way that works. I hope that helps. For what reasons should one not go into CS? That's an interesting question. I would say that if you don't have, first of all, passion, that's very important. If you don't like coding, if you don't like sitting in front of a computer for hours, then don't take anything computer related, like engineering even. Um, and if you don't like math, there's a lot of math in computer science and engineering. You have to take certain science electives. Electives are like your options, right? You have to take those. How competitive is it to get into the co-op program? That depends on your campus, actually. So UBC Vancouver is very competitive. Like even just like applying for co-op and then waiting for a reply, it's very competitive. UBC Okanagan is not as much. Can you send the link to the slideshow? Yeah, sure. Wait, sorry. I was answering the question once again. Um, it's UBC Vancouver is very competitive in a nutshell, and Okanagan is not. So just work on your grades. First year, second year, you want to get good grades. There's also an interview section for most internships where you have to like have a camera and they're going to interview you like on Zoom and ask you for your work experience. If you have any volunteering clubs, you want to have an extracurricular life because they don't care just about your grades, right? So you want to be in clubs, you want to be in volunteering jobs, anything. All right. I can send this. How do I? 1 second. Okay. All right. I'll just put it in the chat. Let me know, guys, if the link doesn't work. Hopefully it should. What is your favorite thing about learning CSP? Computer science program? That's CSP? I hope it is. Oh, okay, just CS. Okay. I love coding. Um, I also like math. And like I said, I'm a lazy person, so I like sitting in one place and just like doing my work. I don't like moving much. So this is like really good for me. Also, another thing, the computer science, computer engineering field has so much what's the word? Like not variety, versatility. Like computers are everywhere. You can work in the automobile field, you can work in technology, you can work in big companies and make like their databases or software websites, stuff like that. So it's not boring. You don't have to focus on like one thing and just keep doing that for the rest of your life. You can go into any programs because computers are just everywhere. And that is also something that I really, really like about the career in general. And about classes, yeah, I like math and I like coding. So yeah, that's very inspiring. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, I hope the link worked. I'm just gonna test the link myself. Okay, it works for me. But yeah, guys, just say make sure whatever university you're applying into, you do your research, like go into their website in the programs and see what requirements they have. And just follow that. Any other questions for this presentation? I have another presentation. I have a panel actually, where I'm going to be explaining more of the admission process and stuff. If you guys want to join that, I think it's starting in about 15 minutes. Because I mean, like I said, this presentation is more about the productivity aspect, how to stay organized with your high school life, university, anything.